Hello students, welcome to Aditya Academy. I am Dr. Ragini Arora and today we are back with our next video of this chapter, which is coordinate geometry. This is the 7th chapter from Ncert and we already have given two videos of this chapter. First one is the introductory video in which all the formulae and techniques have been explained in detail. Now this video is about exercise 7.2 from Ncert. This exercise is about the section formula. We had learned this formula in the introductory video. If you want to practice in a detailed manner, you can go back to that video. And here I am starting with the exercise 7.2. Let me write the section formula here. Section formula is used when we have to find the coordinates of a point P which divides a line segment into a given ratio m:n. Let us say the coordinates of A are given as x1, y1 and B are given as x2, y2. We have a point P which divides AB, line segment AB, internally in the ratio m:n. This word internally actually denotes that this letter P lies on the line segment AB. Till class 10th, we are not dealing with external division. So I'm not explaining it here. Internal divisions mean we have this point on the line segment AB itself. So let us assume that P divides AB in the ratio m:n. So the coordinates of P can be written as x is given as m times x2 for former ratio letter coordinate added to letter ratio multiplied by the former coordinate divided by m plus n. Similarly, we go for y, m times y2 added to n times y1 divided by m plus n. Right? So this is the concept that we are going to use here, and we have already learned that if we have to find the ratio in a particular question, instead of assuming that ratio to be m:n, we assume it to be k:1. Right? So now I am starting with this question. Find the coordinates of the point which divides the join of A, which is -1, 7, B, which is 4, -3. P is the point which divides this join or this line segment in the ratio 2:3. Right? So we have to find the coordinates of point P which divides line segment AB in the ratio 2:3. This is the direct application of this formula. So for coordinates of P, section formula we have written here. So x becomes m times x2, 2 multiplied by 4, added to n times x1, 3 multiplied by -1, divided by m plus n, which is 2 plus 3. So we can solve it. 4 2s are 8 minus 3 over 5. 8 minus 3 is 5 divided by 5, which is 1. So for y, we use the same formula. 2 multiplied by y2, which is -3, added to 3 multiplied by 7, y1 divided by 2 plus 3. This is -6 added to 21 divided by 5. 21 minus 6 is 15 divided by 5, which is 3. So now x and y, we have found both the coordinates. We can write coordinates of point P is x, y, which is 1, 3. right? This is our answer. Next question says, find the coordinates of the points of trisection of the line segment. We have done an example of trisection in the introductory video. So you must have learned that trisection means dividing something into three equal parts. Bisection means to bisect something is to divide something into two equal parts. To trisect something means to divide something into three equal parts. So now here AB is getting divided into three equal parts, right? A is 4, -1. B is -2, -3. So we have to find the coordinates of P and Q. Now if you assume that these AP is equal to PQ, we have AP is equal to PQ is equal to BQ. That means we have trisected line segment AB. So if these three parts are equal, for the coordinates of P, we can see that the ratio between AP and PB becomes 1:2, right? So for the coordinates of P, that means P is dividing, P divides AB in ratio 1:2, right? So coordinates of P becomes X is equal to, this you have to write, X is M times X2 plus N times X1 upon M plus N, and Y is M times Y2 N times Y1 upon M plus N, right? So we have X is equal to, now 1 gets multiplied by -2. 1 gets multiplied by -2. 2 gets multiplied by 4. So we have, over this we have 1 by 1 plus 2. This is -2 plus 8 upon 3, which is 6 by 3, that is 2. For y coordinate of point P, we apply the same formula, M times Y2. 1 multiplied by -3, 2 multiplied by -1 over 1 plus 2. -3, -2 over 3, that is -5 by 3. So the coordinates of P becomes 2, -5 by 3, right? Now we have to find the coordinates of Q. Now that can be done in two different ways. If we have to find Q, you can see that, now I'm erasing this, right? We have to look for AQ and BQ as two different parts. So we can see that two parts are in the first segment. So we can say that Q is dividing AB in the ratio 2:1, right? So for coordinates of Q, we can write Q divides AB in the ratio 2:1. So for coordinates of Q, I am writing X is equal to 2 multiplied by -2. Former ratio, later coordinate, added to later ratio, former coordinate, 1 multiplied by 4 divided by 2 plus 1. This is -4 plus 4 by 3, which is 0. And for Y, we have 2 multiplied by -3 added to 1 multiplied by -1 over 2 plus 1. So we have -6 added to -1 divided by 3. which is minus 7 by 3. So the coordinates of P are, P is 2 comma minus 5 by 3 and Q becomes 0 comma negative 7 by 3, right? P is 2 comma minus 5 by 3 and Q is 0 comma minus 7 by 3. This is the solution. We had to find 2 points which trisect, which divides AB in the ratio 1:2 and 2:1 respectively. This is a good question. Now, to conduct sports day activities in your rectangular shaped school ground ABCD, lines have been drawn with a chalk powder at a distance of 1 meter each. Change the color. So, see, these are distances of 1 meter. These lines have been drawn at a distance of 1 meter each. And then he says 100 flower pots have been placed at a distance of 1 meter from each other along AD. See, on this you can see this 1 meter distance between chalk lines can be treated as 1 unit apart on x-axis, right? Along AD, we can treat this as our y-axis. They have kept flower pots at a distance of 1 meter from each other, and in such a way they have placed 100 flower pots. 100 flower pots. So we can see that now he says Niharika runs 1/4 the distance AD. See, AD you can treat as y-axis. This AB you can treat as x-axis. So here the numbers have been drawn from 1 to 10, which denotes x-axis as 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. On y-axis, numbers have been given from 1 to till 100 because 100 flower pots have been planted this way. Now he says Niharika runs 1/4 the distance AD on the second line. You can see that this is Niharika. She is running on the second line which has been drawn with a chalk, and she covers a distance of 1/4 the distance AD. See, the whole AD denotes 100 because we have 100 flower pots planted at a distance of 1 meter from each other. That means the scale which they have chosen on the x-axis has also been chosen on the y-axis. These lines are 1 meter apart, these flower pots are 1 meter apart. So the same scale has been chosen on both the axes. So AD, the length of whole AD is 100 meters. And Niharika is running on the second line on the x-axis. So if we find the coordinates for Niharika, on the x-axis, she is running on the second line. So x becomes 2. And if we talk about y-axis, the vertical distance she has covered is 1/4 of the whole AD. 1/4 of AD, that means 1/4 of AD. That is 1/4 of 100. 1/4 of 100 is 25. So the coordinates for Niharika, assuming these AB and AD as x and y axis respectively, she is on the point 2, 25. Next he says, Preet runs 1/5 the distance AD on the 8th line. Now 8th line means on the horizontal axis. Preet is running on the 8th line. So she is having x coordinate as 8. She is on the 8th line from this point A. So x coordinate becomes 8 and she is running 1/5 of the total distance AD. So that means 1/5 of AD, 1/5 of 100, that means 20. So her y coordinate becomes 20, right? So here you had to first analyze the coordinates of both the contestants, and then you have to find the distance. If Rashmi has to, okay, read this question again. Niharika runs 1/4 of the distance AD on the second post and posts a green flag. Now she is posing a green flag. Niharika posts a green flag. Right? Preet runs 1/5 the distance AD on the 8th line and posts a red flag. Preet posts a red flag. What is the distance between both the flags? So first of all, we have to find the distance between these two contestants. If Rashmi has to post a blue flag exactly halfway between the line segment joining the two flags, where should she post her flag? Right? So let's say this is N and this is P. So first we have to find the distance NP, right? And then first part requires the distance between N and P. That means Niharika and Preet. And the second part is asking if Rashmi has to post a blue flag. Rashmi has to post a blue flag midway, exactly the halfway between N and P. Here Rashmi has to post a blue flag. So what should be the coordinates? Where should she post her flag means you have to find the coordinates of this point. Let's say this be R, right? So now we start with the question. Coordinates for Niharika. Coordinates for Niharika is 2,25. I hope you have understood the concept. We are just simply treating this graph as the Cartesian plane, the first coordinate of Cartesian plane, and then writing the coordinates for Niharika and Preet. We find the distance between them. Coordinates for Preet is 8,20. So let this be N, this be P. Distance NP is, we apply the distance formula, which is x2 minus x1 whole square added to y2 minus y1 whole square. x2 is NP. I had told you always consider the second one minus first one. So we have 8 minus 2 whole square, 20 minus 25 whole square. 8 minus 2 is 6 square, 20 minus 25 is minus 5 square. This is square root of 36 added to 25. So this is under root of 61. This is the distance between Niharika and Preet, right? And if we have to find the midpoint of NP, right? Midpoint of the line segment joining Niharika and Preet. Niharika and Preet. So we had, okay, let me explain you again. If we talk about midpoint, midpoint represents the point which divides NP in the ratio 1:1. If this is, let's say, this is N and this is P, which is 2,25, 8,20. The point which divides NP in the ratio 1:1, because we have to make NR equal to RP. That means the ratio of NR and RP is 1:1. They are equal. So applying section formula, the coordinates of R becomes x is 1 multiplied by 8. 1 multiplied by 8 added to 1 multiplied by 2. So we have over 1 plus 1. This is 8 plus 2, 10. 10 by 2, that is 5. X coordinate is 5 and y becomes 1 multiplied by 20, 1 multiplied by 20 added to 1 multiplied by 25 divided by 1 plus 1. 25 plus 20 is 45 by 2. So, coordinates for Rashmi are 5, 45 by 2. Right? So, she will be placing a blue flag at this point R. Right? Next question says, find the ratio in which the line segment joining the points A is minus 3, 10, B is 6, minus 8. Let this be P, which is given as minus 1, 6. The question is asking, find the ratio in which the line segment joining the points this and this is divided by minus 1, 6. So I had told you in the beginning and in the introductory video, whenever we have to find the ratio, we always assume it to be k is to 1 instead of m is to n. That has got the logic that when we have two variables, then we will have to solve two equations to solve for those m and n. Instead, we can use k is to 1. So let the ratio be k is to 1. Right? So now we simply apply the formula of section formula here. Coordinates of P according to section formula becomes k multiplied by 6 added to 1 multiplied by negative 3 divided by k plus 1, and y also becomes k multiplied by negative 8, 1 multiplied by 10 is k plus 1. So these are the coordinates of P. Now, since these coordinates are given to us, we can simply equating x coordinate of P. So we have 6k minus 3 upon k plus 1 is equal to minus 1. That is 6k implies that 6k minus 3 is equal to minus 1 times k plus 1. 6k minus 3 is minus k minus 1. So we have 6k plus 1k minus 1 plus 3. That is 7k is equal to 2. So k becomes 2 by 7. Right? That means required ratio is k is to 1. That means 2 by 7 is to 1. So we can say that it is 2 is to 7. You can take the 7 to this side, or you can simply multiply both the ratios by 7. We get 2 is to 7. Right? When we can confirm it by, put the value of k here in y. This is k times minus 8 plus 1 times 10 over k plus 1. K is 2 by 7 multiplied by minus 8 plus 10 upon 2 by 7 plus 1. Simplify this. This becomes minus 16. Multiply this. Take this LCM. This becomes 70 over 7 divided by 7. 2 plus 7. 9 by 7. So this becomes 70 minus 16 is 54. 54 by 7 multiplied by 7 by 9. So this is 6. You can see that y is 6. It is given that. So this is the cross check, and since we have to only solve it for x coordinate, the ratio can be found only by one equation, right? Next question is, find the ratio in which the line segment joining A and B is divided by the x-axis. See, we had learned that all the points on the x-axis, like this point is 1. We only write x coordinates here. But if we have to write the whole address of this point, this becomes 1, 0. This becomes 2, 0. This is 3, 0. Because all the points on the x-axis have their y coordinate 0. So if the point lies on the x-axis, its y coordinate will be 0. The point on the x-axis will be of the form P A, 0, right? So this is the general notation. Any point on x-axis will have its y coordinate 0. So now I use this. AB is a line segment. A is 1, minus 5. B is minus 4, 5. This point P lies on the x-axis, so I am writing this as A, 0. So now he says find the ratio. Ratio means we have to calculate ratio, so I am assuming it to be k is to 1. Let the ratio in which P divides AB be k is to 1. So the coordinates of P becomes, for coordinates of P, x becomes k times minus 4, added to 1 times 1 divided by k plus 1. So you can see that if I have assumed this point to be A, I have to equate this x coordinate to A. Then I will be having two unknown things, k and A, which cannot be solved by using one equation. So instead, I find the value of y. That means k multiplied by 5 added to 1 multiplied by minus 5 divided by k plus 1. And we know that this point P has y coordinate as 0. So I can simply equate this coordinate to 0. Since for P, y is equal to 0. So I have 5k minus 5 upon k plus 1 is equal to 0, which is 5k minus 5 is equal to 0. So 5k is equal to 5. Finally, k is equal to 1. So now I have found the ratio. Also find the coordinates of the point of division. Firstly, he had asked us the ratio in which P divides AB. So the required ratio is k is 1, 1 is to 1. That means P is the midpoint of this line segment. Now I have to find the value of A. So I simply put this value k in x. So x is equal to A, and this x is equal to A, which is equal to this. Minus 4 times k is 1. 1 times 1 upon k plus 1, which is 1 plus 1. So A becomes minus 4 plus 1 upon 2. A is minus 3 by 2. So the coordinates of P becomes minus 3 by 2, 0. And the ratio is 1 is to 1. Right? Next is, if these 4 points are the vertices of a parallelogram taken in order, find x and y. This question I have seen that generally children go by finding sides. They try to equate AB is equal to CD and AD is equal to BC. The question becomes very lengthy. So instead, you can use a very important property of a parallelogram. Properties of parallelogram are opposite sides are equal, opposite sides are parallel, opposite angles are equal, and diagonals bisect each other. That means this O is the midpoint for both the diagonals. This is the smallest property that can be used, and this question actually comes for 2 marks in the paper. So it is good enough to use this property. You will be getting both the variables. So we can write that midpoints or both the diagonals, midpoint of AC and BD is same. That means coordinates of O can be found by using AC. I'm writing them in order. See, this is order 1, 2. B is 4, Y. This is X, 6. And this is 3, 5. So coordinates, let me tell you in advance that coordinates of midpoint, though we have done it in introductory video, coordinates of midpoints are given as x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. So if we have points A and B with x1, y1 and x2, y2, their midpoint can be given as this. Because you can see that if you multiply 1 is to 1, 1 by x2, 1 into x2 plus 1 into x1, they become x1 plus x2 divided by 2. So this is the simplest direct formula for midpoints of any line segment. I am applying this formula here for AC. Coordinates of O by AC. So I can write 1 plus x upon 2 is equal to 1 plus x upon 2 is equal to x, or you can say that you can write this as h comma k. Since x has been used, I am writing the coordinates of O as h comma k. This is 1 plus x by 2 and k becomes 2 plus 6 by 2. Right? So according to AC, the midpoints of O become this, h comma k. Now coordinates of O by BD, right? Since O is the midpoint of BD, so we have coordinates of O by BD. So h here becomes 3 plus 4 by 2. Here x1 is this, x2 is this. So 3 plus 4 by 2 is 7 by 2. And for k, it becomes 5 plus y. 5 plus y by 2. So now since coordinates of O are same for AC and BD, we can simply equate this 7 by 2, 1 plus x by 2 is equal to 7 by 2. From here we can find x. These two got removed, so x becomes 7 minus 1. X is 6. And equating these two values of k, we have 2 plus 6, that is 8 by 2 is equal to 5 plus y by 2. 4, you can remove these two. 8 is equal to 5 plus y. So y becomes 8 minus 5, that is 3. So now we have found the value of x as well as y. So x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 3. Next question is, find the coordinates of a point A where AB is the diameter of a circle whose center is, okay, let this be AB, this be the center O. Find the coordinates of point A, where AB is the diameter of the circle whose center is given as 2, minus 3, and B is given as 1, 4. So we can assume that let the coordinates of A be x, y. And we know that O is, since AB is the diameter, so the center becomes the midpoint of AB. O is the midpoint of AB. Simply applying the formula of midpoint, like x plus 1. X plus 1 divided by 2 gives you this 2. So this becomes x plus 1 is equal to 4, x is 3. Then we have y plus 4 upon 2. Y added to, this is y1 plus y2. Y plus 4 divided by 2 is equal to minus 3. Y plus 4 is equal to minus 6. So y is equal to minus 6 minus 4. Y is minus 10. To find the coordinates of point A, so A becomes 3, minus 10. Right? So now the next question is, if A and B are these two given points respectively, find the coordinates such that AB is 3 by 7 of AB. So we have A, which is minus 2, minus 2, and then B, which is 2, minus 4. This is the point P. Now he says, if A and B are these two given points respectively, find the coordinates of P which divides such that AB is 3 by 7 of AB. AB is 3 by 7 of AB. So here is a trick in this question. Generally, children go very fast by this, like AB is to BB is equal to 3 is to 7. But be careful. Here it is AP divided by AB is 3 by 7. Right? AP. Now the ratio is given between AP and whole AB. That means AP and this whole AB. This ratio is AB is to AB. That means AP represents 3 parts, well AB represents 7 parts. So you can see that this AB is representing this 7 as the whole parts of AB. So if we are dividing AB into 7 equal parts, AP represents 3, that means BP represents the rest of the 4. Right? So now we can see that P divides AB in the ratio 3 is to 4. So now this becomes very easy. We simply have to find the coordinates of point P according to the ratio 3 is to 4. For that, x is 3 multiplied by 2 added to 4 multiplied by minus 2 divided by 3 plus 4. 6 minus 8 by 7. This is minus 2 by 7. Y is 3 multiplied by minus 4. 4 multiplied by minus 2 divided by 3 plus 4. So we have negative 12, negative 8 divided by 7, which is minus 20 by 7. So the coordinate of P become negative 2 by 7, negative 20 by 7. Right? Next question is, find the coordinates of the points which divide the line segment AB into 4 equal parts. This is similar to one that we had done for trisection. negative 2 comma 2, B is 2 comma 8. Now see, here we have to divide AB into 4 equal parts. That means we have to insert 3 letters or 3 numbers at equal distances so that AB gets divided into 4 equal parts. So I'm writing here as P, Q and R, right? So let P divides. Now you can see that since all these 4 parts are equal, if we consider P in the beginning, we have one part to the left of P and rest of the 3 parts on the right of P. So P divides AB in the ratio 1 is to 3. So coordinates of P can be found by using this ratio. Like 1 for x, 1 gets multiplied by 2. 3 gets multiplied by negative 2 divided by 1 plus 3, which is 2 minus 6 by 4 minus 4 by 4, which is minus 1. So for P, x becomes negative 1. Y becomes 1 multiplied by 8, 1 multiplied by 8 added to 3 multiplied by 2 divided by 1 plus 3. We have 8 added to 6 by 4, which is 14 by 4, that is 7 by 2. So the coordinates of P becomes minus 1 comma 7 by 2. Similarly, we can find coordinates of Q. Q divides AB in ratio. Now what is Q? Since we have 4 parts here, so if we go for Q, we have 2 on the left and 2 on the right. So that means Q divides AB in the ratio 1 is to 1. That means Q is the midpoint of AB. So x is minus 2 plus 2 divided by 2 and y becomes 2 plus 8 divided by 2. So x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 8 plus 2, 10 divided by 2. That means 5. So we have coordinates of Q as 0, 5. And finally, R divides AB in ratio. You can see that up to R we have 3 parts on the left. So 3 is to 1. So coordinates of R becomes x. X becomes 3 here. 3 multiplied by 2 added to 1 multiplied by minus 2 becomes 3 plus 1. So we have 6 minus 2 by 4, that is 4 by 4, that is 1. For y, we have 3 multiplied by 8, 1 multiplied by 2 divided by 3 plus 1. 24 plus 2 by 4, 26 by 4, that is 13 by 2. So coordinates of R are 1, 13 by 2. So these are the 3 required coordinates of P, Q, R. Right? The last question is, find the area of rhombus if its vertices are, try to make it bigger, P, Q, R, S. If they are given in order as 3, 0, 4, 5, minus 1, 4, minus 2, minus 1. Find the area of rhombus if its vertices are this. So area of rhombus you have learned. Area of rhombus, if we take it as a parallelogram, it is base into height. But since height is not given here, The area of rhombus has another formula which is half d1 d2. d1 d2 means diagonal 1 and diagonal 2. For that we can write area of PQRS. Rhombus PQRS becomes half of diagonal PR multiplied by QS. So here we have to find these diagonals first. That means PR, distance PR is found by distance formula. Distance formula is x2 minus x1 whole square added to y2 minus y1 whole square. So now for PR, this is our x2 y2. Minus 1 minus 3 minus 1 minus 3 whole square added to 4 minus 0 whole square. This is minus 4 square plus 4 square. This is 16 plus 16. This is root 32. Root 32 can be written as 4 root 2. Similarly, diagonal QS. Distance QS can be taken as, this is QS. S is the second point. So subtract, this is your x2 y2. Minus 2 minus 4. Minus 2 minus 4 whole square. Minus 1 minus 5 whole square. Which is equal to minus 6 whole square minus 6 whole square. Which is 36 plus 36. This is root 72. So if you can see that 72 can be factorized as 36. This is 18, 9, 3, 3. So you can take out 1 3 common and 1 2 common, which is written as 6 root 2. Now the area becomes half of PR. PR is 4 root 2 multiplied by QS, which is 6 root 2. So what we can do is root 2 into root 2 is 2, which can be reduced. 4 times 6 is 24 square units. Whenever it is area or any length, we have to write units if it is given, otherwise you can write unit itself. So this was all about this chapter. This was very easy and interesting chapter. I hope you liked watching this video. So please do not forget to like, subscribe and share it. Thank you.